Testing. 1, 2, 60 plus 1. Greetings, all of you. Round 4. And although tomorrow will be the 5th and final round, which technically will be 2 rounds, but I'm going to put them in one video because why not? You know the drill at this point. There's 15 little mini rounds, and again, as you already know, that final one's a free space. So therefore, let's dig into it, baby. We are really at the peak of the mountain. These are some of the. I'm pretty sure I can confidently say most, if not even debatably all, the episodes in round 4 aren't just obviously my favorite Simpsons episodes, but are probably some of the best episodes of any of television ever. I mean, The Simpsons, as you already know, probably at this point is my favorite TV show of all time. So it's only natural that obviously its best is what I consider to be some of the best TV of all time. With that, let's get into round 1. Season 4's Last Exit to Springfield versus Season 6's Lisa's Rival. Lisa's Rival, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lisa's Rival. Last Exit to Springfield has been a very obvious win, and it will continue that. Lisa's Rival is great, underrated even, but not so good it beats out one of the funniest episodes of anything ever. Last Exit to Springfield. I guess I should explain why Last Exit to Springfield is so great. Because I keep saying it's one of the funniest episodes of anything ever, but I never elaborate. The plot is definitely not a usual one. Homer being a union leader is not. You don't think of that as a good concept. But somehow they take this plot that does not sound good, does not sound like an episode you'd actually want to watch, and they build so many consistently hilarious moments around it. This is easily the best Mr. Burns has been in the entire show. I'm not the biggest Mr. Burns fan. He's good, but he's not like one of my all-time faves. This episode, though, in my opinion, is truly him at his best. He is just a wicked villain, just wanting to ruin their dental plan. Not even for any real reason, just because he randomly chose it. And of course, this goes well with Lisa's plot of needing braces, which is the whole reason Homer even cares in the first place, because he doesn't want to pay for the dental plan. That is Lisa's braces. So yeah, Last Exit to Springfield takes a plot that you don't think sounds good, and then makes it one of like the best episodes of all time. Lisa's Rival just has to settle with being one of the most underrated episodes. So, next up we have Season 7's Lisa the Vegetarian versus Season 8's A Millhouse Divided. A Millhouse Divided has a better story. Like, seeing A Millhouse's parents, Kirk and Luann, Kirk goes on to be a pretty decently used side character in the teen to HD episodes, but in the classic era, he really wasn't much of anything. He only really showed up when, obviously, you needed Millhouse's parents. He wasn't a specific character that people specifically wanted to see or use. But this episode changed that. This is when people... I think this is... Kirk definitely had funny moments before this. This is the first real big Kirk episode. This is the first time people could kind of be like, okay, we actually kind of like this guy. This guy's actually really funny. I mean, come on. Kirk's moment of can I borrow a feeling is easily is such an amazing moment. And then you have the I sleep in a racing car, do you? And Homer's like, I sleep in a big beautiful bed with my wife. And Kirk's like, oh. I guess it does also have the meme of Bart hitting Homer with a chair, which even on its own is just a funny moment. Lisa the Vegetarian, It's so shocking. I went into this thinking Lisa the Vegetarian would be better than a Millhouse Divided, but now that I think about it, yeah, no, Millhouse Divided is better. I guess it's because it has more. I think it's because I think they're on equal footing when it comes to humor, and I simply just find Lisa the Vegetarian's plot very uninteresting, given that I am not vegetarian or vegan, and I do not care about becoming either. So I don't really care about that culture, and the plot is a. I don't really care about the plot. I just only like it so much because it has so many killer jokes. But so does A Millhouse Divided, and that one I think to give a Millhouse Divided like some like maybe something to really point out. It does start to get weaker when it becomes a Homer and Marge marriage crisis. That's not like the best. That's when it gets a little weaker, but it's still funny. This is still an amazing episode. Oh boy. Season 6 is Grandpa versus Sexual Inadequacy versus Season 3's Homer at the Bat. Again, Grandpa versus Inadequacy is another hilarious episode. But Homer at the Bat, and ironically, is another underrated one, and it's also from Season 6, just like Lisa's rival. Huh, that's a theme. Homer at the Bat, though, again, is so killer, so amazing. Like, Homer at the Bat starts kind of but once it brings in the guest stars, it just funny moment after funny moment, an easy peak. It's one of the earliest moments where I think, like, the show was still good before this. I think the first 3 seasons are still a part of the golden age. Homer at the Bat, though, like any Simpsons episode you want to thank for just being hilarious moment after hilarious moment, you have to thank Homer at the Bat. I think I don't want to say it's the day The Simpsons was born, because in general, I don't believe shows can just get born by one episode. A season I can buy, but just an individual episode, no. One episode can't make a show what it is. But Homer at the Bat is definitely a great episode in terms of the evolution. Because the first 3 seasons are only so good because they're more character based. Whereas starting with this episode, this is the first time it's like, okay, we can also throw in some killer jokes. And maybe we can really just have episodes just be great just because they're just consistently funny. I'm trying to get more in depth about these episodes, or at least the winners, to really show why they made it so far. Round 4, Homer the Great versus Itchy and Scratchy and Poochie. Okay, I'm going to be nice to Season 6 and give Homer the Great the win. Come on, the Stonecutters. As much as the Poochie episode is a great social commentary on the show, you can't diss Homer the Great like that. Homer the Great is simply a great episode. Admittedly, they really should have called it something about like the Stonecutters, but that's a problem with the episode title. We cannot hate on the episode itself for its title. Come on, Homer having to leave the Stonecutters with the Stone of Shame, and it's a giant stone he has to walk home to. But then when he becomes the leader, he's like get rid of the Stone of Shame, woohoo, and put on the Stone of Triumph. Go, like it's just funny. All of the bits here just work. From Homer, from everyone in the Stonecutters letting Homer just win at everything because he's the leader, to Homer even trying to make the Stonecutters like a nice organization that does good for the world. All of it works for me. And that's why I think it's just an amazing episode. Number 5, Bart Starr versus Team Homer. Bart Starr. These two are on very close playing fields. I think Bart Starr is seriously one of the most underrated episodes. Why do people not talk about this one more? From Homer's lines of cuts, because I think what I like about it is that it makes you think it's a generic Bart and Homer, like a father-son story. But they subvert the heck out of it, and I love it. You feel bad for Bart because he doesn't want to be the star of attention. Because he knows he's bad at football. Homer is just being an over-pushing dad, but at the same time, Homer's trying to be a good dad and giving him the spotlight, so you don't dislike him either. It's just a really nice episode while still having, again, a lot of killer jokes. I think I would have put Team Homer like above it if it wasn't for the Bart and Lisa B plot, which is good, but but it isn't as good as the actual Team Homer stuff. So you're just kind of like, yeah, the B plot's good, but I really only mostly here for the A plot. Whereas with Bart Star, it doesn't have like any B plot. It's just you just get this one big story. You also before I end off Bart Star, I love the moment where like Homer's just taunting Ned, and when it's just like what, and Homer just goes back to taunting him, like didn't even really have anything real to say to him. Just mwah, just the cherry on the cake. It's probably not how the quote goes, but I'm tired. Lisa on Ice versus 3 Minute in a Comic Book. Lisa on Ice, beautiful balance between being a sibling episode and also just being funny. This is also probably the most I'm ever going to defend Homer being a jerk. In later episodes, I think the difference here is partially because he's funny. Well, actually, three reasons. One, I just find it funny. I find him funny here. And at the end of the day, it really does just come down to, is this funny? Is what he's doing funny? Two, Homer is not the main character of this episode. And a lot of other episodes where he's a jerk, like post Golden Age, he's like the star, so you have to sit through more of him being just a jerk. Whereas in this episode, he's only the side character, so we can have him being a jerk while he's still not overall ruining or taking away from any of it. And the third, and in my opinion, most important aspect is that Homer is portrayed as the villain. Like, you are not supposed to root for Homer in this episode. He is not a character he's not a character you're supposed to be loving. He does never learn his lesson, which, in fairness, I guess is a bit of a problem in and of itself. This isn't perfect. I don't think it's like a big thing that ruined anything. So yeah, Lisa on Ice is still an amazing episode, and I love Homer in it, even though he is a jerk. 3 Minute in a Comic Book is a really good season 2 episode, but just cannot defeat Lisa on Ice. Speaking of which, Barkets and F versus Lemon of Troy. I love you, Barkets and F, I really do, but Lemon of Troy is so great. Not just for the comedy, but just for the premise. This backwards town of Springfield, Shelbyville, which Shelbyville is a town we heard of before, but this is the first time we really get to see it. And boy, just having it be a bootleg dollar store Springfield is just amazing. Hurricane Eddie versus Last Temptation of Homer. Last Temptation of Homer is the superior episode. Both are good character studies. Hurricane Eddie of Ned and and seeing how even a nice guy like him has his breaking point, and even getting some backstory on him. You have Ned's parents just not punishing him, and then Ned's mom is all like, "Try nothing. We're all out of ideas." Ned's parents are like in only like 2 episodes during these 10 seasons. And in both times we've seen them, they were the best part of their episodes. Ned's parents were so amazing. Also, but Last Temptation of Homer, first of all, is a Homer exploration. This time with just how much he means to Marge. Just how much Marge means to him. He loves Marge. He cares about her. He's not going to, just because Mindy's exactly like him, doesn't mean he's going to cheat. Even when it takes the whole world telling him to do it, he is not. He will not bend. And that shows, first of all, all of that just proves how great of a character Homer is and why I love him so much. More so Golden Age Homer, but still. And then you also have, just again, the jokes. Much like Lisa, I think this might rival Lisa on Ice and a later episode, and this I'll talk about, and that it has the perfect balance between being extremely funny while also being a good character story. Number 9, Homer's Enemy versus Radioactive Man. Well, this one's easy. Yeah, as much as I think Radioactive Man is a pretty funny episode, Homer's Enemy, it tells a better story, despite its lack of that many funny moments. Duffless versus Camp Krusty, the battle between 2 season 4 episodes, and I think Duffless comes on top. Unlike Team Homer, where I think the B-plot took away a bit from it, in Duffless, I think it's actually quite the opposite. The B-plot actually adds to Duffless this time, Because in the B plot, both Bart and Lisa are bad, and neither of them were good, which I think makes it better, more easier just to sit back and enjoy the fun. But you still have the main plot with Homer trying to be sober, which is just amazing. Love this episode. I love Camp Krusty too, though. These are both two of season 4's best. I just think Duffless is slightly better. Homer the Vigilante versus Bart Sells His Soul. Bart Sells His Soul is better, despite Homer the Vigilante being funnier. Bart Sells His Soul has such a great depiction of just what it means to have a soul, and it's such a great character journey for Bart. While Homer's the best character, I think a lot of Bart's episodes I end up enjoying more, simply because I find Bart a more relatable character. Probably because I'm more closer to Bart's age, and I'm not even officially an adult yet, therefore I cannot fully relate to Homer and his experiences. But yeah, Bart Sells His Soul is just amazing. One of the best Bart stories, and just one of the best episodes the show's ever made, in my opinion. No duh, it survived all of this. Lisa the Beauty Queen versus A Star Is Burns. This is a tough one because these are both pretty good. They're both probably some of the weakest episodes in this round overall, but I can't figure out which one I like more. In terms of stuff beyond humor, I think Lisa the Beauty Queen is easily superior. Homer sacrificing his chance to ride the Duff Blimp just to give Lisa a chance to have a better understanding of her like appearance. And the school fair stuff was really hilarious. But A Star Is Burns has also a lot of killer jokes too. Brew earns, man getting hit by football. You know what? No, I'll stand on the hill that Lisa the Beauty Queen's better. People don't give that one enough credit. It's a really good one. Treehouse of Horror 5 versus I Love Lisa. Treehouse of Horror 5 is the best Treehouse of Horror, but I think I Love Lisa is still superior. It's the third, the first one, the others being Last Temptation and Lisa on Ice, where it is just, again, that balance, and that's all I'm going to add. Just that amazing balance between having a nice, cute story while still being extremely hilarious. Also, one peak moment from I Love Lisa, just to give you something to enjoy, is when Lisa realizes that Ralph bought the tickets for her and Ralph to go, and Bart's like, I'm twice the Krusty fan you are. Here, I'll go, disguised as you. And Lisa's like, what if he wants to hold hands? I'm prepared to make that sacrifice. What if he wants to kiss? I'm prepared to make that sacrifice. What if you don't want to know how far I'll go? Which, okay, Bart. What would... It makes me think a lot of questions, and I don't think I want to answer them. Round 14. 22 short films versus Homer Goes to College. 22 short films all the way. You gotta love all of those mini bits. I'm not even going to bother describing them. They're all good. And Homer Goes to College is still pretty funny, but it just can't beat that. And then by the end, we have Cape Fear, the free space, which is still probably would have beaten out a majority of the episodes here anyway. So again, if anything, I guess it's more of a lucky thing to all of the other 14 of that one that they didn't have to go up against Cape Fear. Does that mean Cape Fear is the best one? Am I only saying that because I think it's the all-time best? We don't know. But yeah, Cape Fear is amazing, and it does deserve to, and it probably would have made round 5 regardless. So, okay, the ones entering the 5th and 6th round, again, I'm just doing it to one video. Let's exit to Springfield. A Millhouse Divided. Homer at the Bat. Homer the Great. Bart Star. Lisa on Ice. Lemon of Troy. Last Temptation of Homer. Homer's Enemy. Duffless. Bart Sells His Soul. Lisa the Beauty Queen. I Love Lisa. 22 short films about Springfield and Cape Fear. These are the ones that have made it. They have pushed past all the over 220 episodes, over the 210-ish episodes of competition, and have triumphed as examples of the Simpsons at their best. But which one will come out on top in the fifth and final video, you will have to see by tomorrow, I guess. Bye.